RUBEN Amorim has arrived in Manchester, and it is believed that as we speak right now, he's meeting the staff and several people at the club. Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb. It is RUBEN Amorim Day, and we continue to track the arrival of the new Manchester United head coach ahead of crunch talks with Ruud van Nistelrooy that we are hoping will happen soon if they haven't happened already, but also ahead of his introduction. Of course, these are images showing him and his team taking to the flight from Beja, that's in Portugal, before, of course, proceeding from Lisbon to Manchester. That was the flight touching down at the Manchester airport. And then, of course, we saw an image of him being accompanied by a police car that is from Manchester Airport. Of course, this is in him. That image you see right there was of him, bent down and hiding his face there, so that the media. But as you'd expect, British media will always be alert to try and follow him everywhere. So that is the man there, being led to Carrington by the team from Manchester United, sent by Manchester United to try and get him in and settle in. So it is said he did meet several staff earlier on today. It's still, I think, a process going on in terms of him getting his work permit so that he can start training on the grass. Whether he can do media duties, we perhaps wouldn't know, because media duties could be part of the job as a contract. So maybe it's a thing he can't do until he gets his work permit. But the thing is, he is in Carrington to start the new era. He is in Manchester already as of today to start the new era of Manchester United. Now, several people, of course, are anticipating. We've been talking about it and hoping for it, and we've been, I think, speculating and excited about watching Sporting CP play and stuff. But it is time now for us to focus on now, because it has come now, and the man has said a lot of things. He said himself he's ready to take up the job. That is in his statement, speaking after the Braga game, saying he's ready to take up the job. And of course, I told you there are things that he mentioned about how he intends to play, how he intends to set up the team, and his approach to the game, and how he thinks. Whereas they won't have a lot of time, I will still try to implement his coaching methods, the things he believes in as a manager, which I think is a good thing. And we should be hoping that it works as early as it can. Amorim, of course, is set to make his decision after the crunch talks with Ruud van Nistelrooy on whether or not he's going to keep him. But his backroom staff is also joining him. He's coming in with his own goalkeeping coach, very important. Goalkeeping coach is top on the guys who are going to be coming in. So meaning the guy we signed earlier on that joined with Rennie Haki and Ruud van Nistelrooy might be leaving as well, because I don't see him, staying. That is Yeleten Ruela. I expect him to leave probably because I mean, a new goalkeeping coach is going to come in. Then he came also with his assistant. Two of his other assistants who are also joining him. They came on the same flight with him. So it's going to be interesting to see the changes when it comes to when it comes to the backroom staff, because that is where I think most of the debates and the contention will be. But it's I think nothing unusual in football for a new guy to come in with their own stuff. It's nothing unusual. He spoke about Ruben, how he's not naive. He knows it's going to be a difficult challenge, and he believes he's mentally thought through it, and he believes it is something he's going to try to make work. Now, uh, as Amorim comes in at Manchester United, I've been thinking about, of course, again, I listened to him speak in detail, and he spoke about how he needs time to know the players and knows who can contribute defensively and stuff. And I've been thinking that how about if Manchester United took time to, I think, let Ruben Amorim work with the youngsters and see what he can do with them and what they can achieve. Because listen, Amorim hinted about not ruling out completely signing players from Sporting Lisbon because he knows them and he knows how good they are in the summer. But you think about Manchester United's future, and you clearly see that it could be in the youth. Now, how about if immediately upon arrival, as he introduces his methods to the team, he quickly, instantly goes into the youth team and tries to work with those, start with those, because there are games going on. There's another 21 game today, I think. Several youth games are going on. But how about if we start immediately and just take it like that's the approach we want to take now? That yes, the senior team is there, but let's immediately integrate in these kids into the team instantly. Because you can't be amazed, you would be amazed by how much kids can do. Case in point is Barcelona right now. They were beaten, their second loss of the season. Lamine Yamal was not in the game. And it's fair to say, it wouldn't be so naive to say that partly they lost that game against Real Sociedad because Lamine Yamal wasn't there. But we are talking a 17-year-old kid being that integral in a big team like FC Barcelona. So for me, that went to show me how much what kids can give you if you trust them. And we've seen this in life. I think the organizations that have been bold enough to trust young people, these youngins can pull stuff that I think because they are more exposed, I think naturally they are more creative, probably. There is something about them that makes them a bit special. So, how about Amorim taking that approach immediately upon arrival as he starts his work at Man United and he chooses to go that direction? So, we see the likes of Sekou Kone, the likes of course, Chido Obi, Lucelle, name them, Harry Amas, immediately working with him to see who of them can fit into, of course, the bunch of so many senior players. I think for me, that would be, I think, a good way to start, because that does as well is it sends a message to the so-called senior players as well that you know what, you're not the life and mass of this team. These kids are the future. So for me, what I would want to see Ruben Amorim do from the onset is to integrate in new kids. If I see 2 or 3 kids, 2 youngins coming into the squad, and not just to be there and warm the bench, but to have a contribution, risk them and put them there. For me, it would speak to a proper new direction that the club is trying to take. I would love to see that happen. So we are hoping that can be the case, because it wouldn't make sense for us to be excited about all these youngins, but then spend another season or two without seeing enough of them given a chance in the senior team. It wouldn't make sense. Then it would perhaps point to us not, having a proper solution to the issues we've had. But Ruben Amorim, it's assumed, has been brought in to lead the solution that Ineos figured out, which is the youngsters. So they can as well have him do it immediately as he starts his era, so that it is a clear communication to the rest of the team that this era is for the youngins, not for the old timers. Yes, the Casemiros are good, they are there, the old, of course, they are needed, but there should be a way we can communicate to them that you guys are here for a short term. These guys are our focus, and we want to trust them and do this now, immediately. So that's my hope. But I'll be disappointed, for example, if just a few months down the road we hear that Sekou Kone or Chido Obi or these other kids are being loaned out to other clubs. Then for me, unless there are others who are better, who come from the academy, the whole point is we should see an intentional or deliberate focus on the youngins from the Ruben Amorim era. That's for me what I'm hoping for, because if you take it back to history, our best Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson's Man United, worked when he started trusting the young kids in the class of 92, and this is the class that made him the legend he turned out to be at Manchester United. So why not try the same approach upon arrival? Because we've got the best to start on and hope that we can get there. But that's my 2 cents about that. So yeah, well, let's wait and see. Of course, later on, I'm sure I will be coming with an update from Carrington, of course, from the first day, from day one with Ruben Amorim as head coach. I'm hoping that they could instantly, because Ineos have really proved not to be afraid to make decisions and communicate them. So probably they will come up with certain clarity, a certain clarity on the future of Ruud van Nistelrooy, because I think it's the one big matter that people are waiting for. We want to know what is going to happen with our legend. Is he staying or is he leaving? So if the talks have happened today, we want to get a clear, a say or a clear communication on what exactly is bound to happen with him or with his leaving. I mean, we need to know all this as early as immediately, for as long as the talks have been held between both parties, or the three parties, because in this case the parties are three. That's Ineos and the two coaches. That's Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ruben Amorim. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will be back later as we track the beginning of this new era of Ruben Amorim as head coach of Manchester United.